Hello, my name is Meysam Feghhi, and in this video, we're going to be looking at the SmartSpot project and its features. This project intends to make it convenient for those who drive to the university to find a free parking spot. So what we did is we basically implemented a prototype with all the necessary infrastructure to monitor spots of a parking lot and display live stats to drivers. The system we built consists of four main components. The first and the most important one is the central server. This server is made using Ruby on Rails API. We call it central because it implements the core logic of the application. So basically it sits in the middle and serves the requests of other components. The second component is the circuit that the technicians are going to deploy in the parking lots. This circuit consists of a number of ultrasonic sensors which are being read by a Raspberry Pi on a loop. The Raspberry Pi then sends updates of the sensor data over to the central server whenever it detects any. Now the third component is the web interface that the technicians use to instrument a parking lot and add it to the system. We're going to see how it works in just a moment. And finally, the last component is an Android application we made for drivers to see the live stats of the instrumented parking lots and find a free parking spot. So now let's see what features does the web interface provide for the technicians. Okay, so if I load up the web interface in a browser, the first thing I'm going to see is this login page. So I'm just going to have to log in to my account. Remember that I have logged in as a technician, and my main job is to instrument a parking lot and add it to the system. In order to do that, I should first create a parking lot instance and then use the specific instructions and drivers that are generated for me to actually instrument the parking lot. So to do that, I'm just going to have to press this red button over here, fill in this form, and submit it. The parking lot I want to add here is the one in front of the Paleontology Museum. So I'm just going to have to put in the name, paste in the address, set the location of the marker on the map. Let's zoom in and see if we're correct. Switch to the satellite view so that we can see a more realistic view. And let's say in the description that this parking is going to be always open. And let's say that there's going to be 32 sensors deployed in that parking. And as you can see, I can specify a label for each one of the spots, but I'm just going to leave it as it is because the default values look fine to me. And then I'm just going to create it. There we go. Now as you can see, the Paleontology parking lot is added to the list. And if I click on its name, I can edit it or delete it. But again, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Now let's say as a technician, I want to actually instrument the Paleontology parking lot. So to do that, I'm just going to have to press this little gear icon over here, which brings me to the instruction page for the Paleontology parking lot. In this page, we can see a list of hardware equipment we need, a wiring sketch of the circuit to be deployed, and the pin map for the Raspberry Pi. After the circuit is deployed, the technician should now download the main driver, transfer it to the Raspberry Pi, and run it. There's also a test driver which can be run on any computer. And as it says here, this driver does not read sensors but only sends fake and random data over to the server. If I open the driver, you can see that the server has embedded a key in the driver code. This specific key is sent to the server along with every update request the Raspberry Pi makes and is required to grant write access to the Paleontology parking lot. So different parking lots, different keys that only server knows about. And that's what prevents malicious requests from changing the stats of parking lots. So that's all there is for the web interface. Now let's take a look at the Android application. If you open up the Android app, the first thing you'll see is a list of instrumented parking lots. And the numbers in these green badges indicate the number of free spots in each parking lot. I can tap on any one of these parking lots and see the live stats and details. I can also find a parking lot on the map, tap on it, and see the live stats again. As you can see, the stats are changing randomly because currently I'm running test drivers for all the parking lots. So the last thing I would like to demonstrate in this video is the actual implementation of the circuit where a main driver sends real data to the central server and the Android application lively displays it. So as you can see, I've implemented the circuit running the main driver on the Raspberry Pi with two sensors plugged in with labels 7 and 4. Now, as the sensors detect any obstacle in front of them, their labels turn red, indicating that the associated spot is occupied. We've also tested our system in a real parking lot with a real car. Well, that finishes this demonstration video for SmartSpot project. Thanks for watching.